Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of imports done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below. Are you thinking? Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making a product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Pivot to Go Global. A scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order a 33% discount, call 080 912 44449. Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank? Are you struggling to meet your income and deposit targets? Are you at the verge of losing your job for non-performance? You desire a change for the better in your career? Then register for the Certified Global Trade Management Professionals from the American Institute of Extended Studies to acquire skills needed to serve import-export trade customers' problems and consequently attract the deposit and income of the transaction to your bank. Registration is currently ongoing. Call this number to register today. Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making a product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Pivot to Go Global. A scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To order, call 080 912 44449. Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making a product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Pivot to Go Global. A scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To order, call 080 912 44449.
Are you a retiree? Are you an employee looking forward to retirement? Are you an agro processor, a farmer, and a manufacturer of different items in Nigeria? Do you desire to earn foreign exchange in euro, dollars, and pounds? Are you interested in expanding your market beyond the shore of Nigeria? Are you looking for how to start doing export business? Do you have an order and looking for how to go about exporting your product abroad? Then I have great news for you. Treaty Index Trade Academy, in conjunction with American Institute of Extended Studies, brings to you from expert novice to expert legend. This is an expert mentoring program that helps you step by step until you achieve your goal of doing a successful and sustainable export business. New enrollment is currently ongoing. The program costs $1,250 and there are flexible payment plans to fit your budget. Enroll today.
Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of import done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining. All right. If you're here to get the book Built to Go Global, the book basically shows you what you need to do in order to have a successful export business. Basically show you what typically will go wrong for a starter coming into the space. What typically go wrong for a starter coming into that space. If you also want to have access to this video every week, you can visit our YouTube channel, Voice of African Trade. Subscribe, share, like, share, comment, and don't forget to click on the notification bell. Don't forget to click on the notification bell. If you also want to get this link, that means the link for this program, if you're joining for the first time and you want to be able to get the link directly, then you can visit African Export Business Platform on Telegram. If you search for African Export Business Platform on Telegram, you'll be able to find us and be able to get the link. And every week, you'll be able to have access to this program because the link is dropped on this platform every week. The link is dropped on this platform every week. We have been to Abia. From Abia, we went to Adamawa. From Adamawa to Anambra. From Anambra to Bauchi, Bayelsa, Benue, and Borno. Then Cross River, and afterwards Delta. From Delta to Ebonyi State, Edo State, Ekiti State, Enugu State, and then Gombe. And from Imo, from Imo to Jigawa, from Jigawa to Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Kogi. Last week we did Kwara, and today we are discussing Lagos State. And next week we'll be discussing Nasarawa. That will be the last for this month. In November, we'll be discussing Niger, Ogun, Ondo, and Oshun. And in December, we'll be discussing Oyo, Plateau, Rivers, and Sokoto. And we'll round off in January when we'll be discussing Taraba, Yobe, and Zamfara State. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we start discussing Lagos State.
Are you a retiree? Are you an employee looking forward to retirement? Are you an agro-processor, a farmer, and a manufacturer of different items in Nigeria? Do you desire to earn foreign exchange in euro, dollars, and pounds? Are you interested in expanding your market beyond the shore of Nigeria? Are you looking for how to start doing export business? Do you have an order and looking for how to go about exporting your product abroad? Then I have great news for you. Treaty Index Trade Academy, in conjunction with American Institute of Extended Studies, brings to you from expert novice to expert legend. This is an expert mentoring program that helps you step by step until you achieve your goal of doing a successful and sustainable export business. New enrollment is currently ongoing. The program costs $1,250 and there are flexible payment plans to fit your budget. Enroll today.
All right. All right. So we will be looking at the usual topical areas, preamble, peculiarities, profile, potential, purchaser, proposal, and profit. This is what we discuss every week as we explore the potential of Nigerian state. Interestingly, we are discussing a very interesting tale today. Interestingly, it's going to be a very, very interesting training today. Because a very interesting state rather, because a number of people listen to this program, even though they might be from different parts, even though they might be from different parts of Nigeria, but a number of people listening to this program are actually living in this state, otherwise called Lagos State, otherwise called Lagos State. And this is interesting because Lagos State really, to a large extent, do not have the problem that many other states in Nigeria have, even though Lagos State can do a lot better than it's doing right now. But the truth of the matter is that Lagos State do not have the challenge that many states in Nigeria have. And what are the challenges that many states in Nigeria have? The challenges that many states in Nigeria have basically have to do with generating revenue. And Lagos being a former capital of Nigeria, or the seat of power of Nigeria, to a large extent do not have to deal with that challenge. So Lagos now must begin to look at a way to not just generate the revenue, diversify its revenue, not generating the revenue from the people, which is through taxes mainly, but now beginning to generate revenue, leveraging on the opportunity in exports. So let's discuss Lagos State today. Very small state with small land mass, but also with potential to produce for export. Also with potential to produce for export. So let's start. What is the goal of export actually? Or what are the goals of export? Or why should Lagos State consider export? Number one is to avoid over-dependence on Abuja. I think that is so important. Lagos, to a large extent, have been able to overcome that challenge because, I mean, it has, as you will see, you see the revenue and even though the cost also is going up. To boost the state GDP of the state, to create opportunity for SME to grow, to decrease dependence on domestic market, to decrease dependence on domestic market, to earn export proceeds and grow revenue for the state, to make food farming and rural life become more lucrative. Why do we need to export? So that the state can gain global market share and recognition. Why do we need to export? The state can become home of creativity and innovation. Why do we need to export? It can be an industrialization opportunity for the state. Why do we need to export? It's a job creation opportunity. It's a job creation opportunity for the state. Why do we need to export? We have the state to know the value of its competitive advantage, particularly as far as agri is concerned. Why do we need to export? We can make the state to lead the way for other states to follow, particularly in revenue generation. Why do we need to export? To make the state to become independent of federal government. of federal allocation, why do we need to export? Numerous incentives for exporters in the state. Why do we need to export? Why do we need to maximize the engagement of states abroad? Why do we need to export? Poverty eradication opportunity in the state. State can pay the league of state depending on wasted assets like oil. Why do we need to export? To revive the economy of the state, slow down rural and urban migration, that's the opportunity for the exporters in the state. That is not the idle capacity of the government, of the company in the state. It has to boost the viability of the state. Lagos is among the viable states in Nigeria. What the opportunity for the state? To explore opportunities or potential further of product found in the state. Yet my paper of competition, and of course the state can zero in on its area of strength. I feel Lagos State has the opportunity to grow because there are so many other options of making money. Lagos has not taken export seriously. I strongly believe that export will be a unique opportunity for Lagos State to grow its revenue base. Its revenue base. Because a lot of exporters from Nigeria in Lagos. And Lagos have what it takes to be able to support a lot of businesses that are into export to be able to help to contribute to the growth of its economy. So what do you see in Lagos State today? What do you see? Unemployment is in Lagos, of course, like many other states of the Federation. Poverty is in Lagos, of course. We have a lot of shanties and locations in Lagos that are really an eyesore, which demonstrate the level of poverty in the state, despite so much wealth also. Another issue is frustration, which you see in different parts of the state. And that explains the reason why sometimes we just shout on ourselves, particularly with public transport. But there's opportunity in farming, even in Lagos State. And I'll look at a particular product Lagos can leverage on to increase its earning by exporting that product. Opportunities in mining. And of course, opportunities in the population of the state. Arguably the most populous state in Nigeria, even though with a very small landmass, but with a huge population. Let's go on a short break. When we return, we'll continue the conversation on Lagos State.
Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of import done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
Okay, so what are the peculiarities of Lagos State? Lagos State is created out of the former western region by the regime of Yakubu Gowon, with the capital in Ikeja. Prior to this, Lagos municipality had been administered by federal government through the Federal Ministry of Lagos Affairs as regional authority, while Lagos City Council governed the city of Lagos. Equally, metropolitan area, colony province of Ikeja, Agege, Mushin, Ikorodu, Epe, and Badagry were administered by the western region. Can you imagine? Located in southwestern part of Nigeria, Lagos State occupies 3,345 square kilometers compared to some other states, massive land in Nigeria. It shares boundaries with Ogun State in the north and east, and bounded in the west by the Republic of Benin. And in the south, it stretched about 180 kilometers along the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. The smallest state in the Federation, occupying 345 square kilometers, 22% or 787 square kilometers of which consists of lagoon and creek. So 90% of Lagos is actually water. The state took off as an administrative entity in 1968, with Lagos Island serving the dual role of being state and federal capital. However, the creation of Federal Territory in 1976, Lagos ceased to be the capital of the state, which was moved to Ikeja. Equally, with the formal relocation of the seat of federal government to Abuja in 1991, Lagos ceased to be the Nigerian political capital. Nevertheless, Lagos remained the national economic and commercial capital. National economic and commercial capital, rather. Lagos is inhabited by the Aworis and Oguns in Ikeja and Badagry division, respectively, the Oguns being found mainly in Badagry. Is it Oguns or Egu? Or am I? While the indigenous people of Lagos are worried, there is nevertheless an admixture of other pioneer immigrant settler collectively called Lagosian, but more explicitly called the Ecos, appropriately called the Ecos, rather. With opportunity for investment in agri, light manufacturing, health, tourism, energy, and mining. Capital is Ikeja. It has 20 local government, but with a lot of LCDA, I think about 30 something LCDA. I think about 30 LCDA, if I'm not mistaken. Population as at when this was being done was about 13 million. Of course, it's a very seriously disputed population. Major crop yam, coconut, oil palm, and solid minerals, silica sand, bitumen clay, and vegetation in savanna. I'm using coconut as the example of the product we'll be looking at in the state. Yes, thank you. Now, let's look at Lagos State. In 2018, Lagos IGR was 398 million. You know, I saw a particular, let me see if I actually have that chart that showed, I think I saw it today. Was it today or yesterday? Oh, I can't find it, it's not here. I saw a particular chart that was showing, it was showing the income IGR of different states in Nigeria. Okay, I can't, oh, unfortunately, I can't find it. I can't remember where I saw that chart. I think it was today, or was it yesterday? And it was trying to show the IGR of different states in Nigeria. And of course, Lagos is far, far ahead of many, many other states in the country. Lagos is far, far ahead of many, many other states in the country. And I mean, you know, there have been a lot of, you know, this political season, and you hear a lot of talk around Lagos, and people were saying that Lagos has been transformed, that, you know, there are different arguments about if indeed Lagos was transformed. And the reason basically was because when you look at Lagos, okay, someone was talking about Marwa, that Marwa was in Maiduguri and nobody didn't hear him, but when they came to Lagos, it became a star. The politician with all their argument. But the idea basically is that Lagos already have a lot of structure that is going on for it. It's said to be 7th fastest growing city in the world, main economic, financial, and industrial hub, highest GDP and internal generation revenue, largest concentration of young, skilled, and educated workforce, largest tourism and entertainment industry, and best city for startup in Africa. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Lagos is number 2 in starting business, number 16 in registering property, number 37 is dealing with construction permit. Wow, most difficult place in dealing with construction permit, and number 16 in enforcing contract in Nigeria. Working population in Lagos is about 9 million. Over 4 million of Lagos population are not in labor force. Unemployment rate in Lagos is very high. Unemployment in Lagos is about 37.14%. Understandably so. I mean, a lot of people are in Lagos. The opportunities are in Lagos, no doubt, but also the unemployment level in Lagos is also very, very, very high, extremely high, if I must say. Even though, like I said, there are opportunities in Lagos, but not really everyone in Lagos have what it takes to take advantage. Just like when people say there are no jobs in Nigeria, I said, no, that's not true. There are jobs. It's just that some jobs, most of the jobs available, skill required to take up those jobs are not readily available. So only few people are able to take advantage of those jobs. I think that's the situation of Lagos. Because unemployment, because of course, high level of unskilled workforce, the unemployment rate in the state is very, very high. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll then discuss the profile of Lagos.
Are you a retiree? Are you an employee looking forward to retirement? Are you an agro processor, a farmer, and a manufacturer of different items in Nigeria? Do you desire to earn foreign exchange in euro, dollars, and pounds? Are you interested in expanding your market beyond the shore of Nigeria? Are you looking for how to start doing export business? Do you have an order and looking for how to go about exporting your product abroad? Then I have great news for you. 3T Impex Trade Academy, in conjunction with American Institute of Extended Studies, brings to you from export novice to export legend. This is an export mentoring program that helps you step by step until you achieve your goal of doing a successful and sustainable export business. New enrollment is currently ongoing. The program costs $1,250 and there are flexible payment plans to fit your budget. Enroll today.
Oh, yes, someone have sent it to me. Soji, thank you very much. You can see the IGR of Lagos as of 2021 was 753. 750. Can you imagine that? Just imagine that. Just imagine that. Sorry. Just imagine 753 billion. The next is FCT 131, probably because of a lot of federal government workers with their taxes. And then Rivers 123, Ogun State 100, Delta 80, Kaduna 52. Ogun State is robbing off. Can you imagine? Kaduna is 52, Oyo 52, Edo 42, Kano 40. The region with the highest IGR is Southwest. And of course, that happened to be because of Lagos. Lagos is 700 and something out of the 920. The region with the lowest is Northeast, 78. The whole state in the Northeast combined is 78. Can you imagine? South-South, because of oil money, is second to Southwest. And Southeast is very, very low. Very, very low. Let's move on to the profile. Thank you very much for the chat. Now, can we see the trend of income of Lagos? Lagos is among the few states in Nigeria is said to be viable. And the reason is because Lagos State, if it doesn't get anything from Abuja, and the credence must be given to the first executive governor of Lagos in 1999, one of the presidential candidates, sincerely, because I mean, you know, adversity also created necessity is the mother of invention. When Obasanjo just sees what's the name? His allocation, and he had to find a way to creatively, and he was able to achieve it, which is now good for Lagos, actually. And it seems as if some states, if they really go through some of those challenges, maybe they will begin to see the need, which is why this oil, some people have seen it as a cause, that maybe if it dry up, we can begin to think. We can begin to think and take advantage of the opportunity we have. Okay, so if you look at the IGR of Lagos, 418 in 2020, and that means that must be a massive increase, because in 2021, IGR of Lagos was 753. There was a serious increase in IGR of Lagos between 2020 and 2021. Okay, probably because of COVID, Then federal allocation of Lagos was 182. But the debt of Lagos, I don't know how sustainable that debt is. The economists will tell us. I'm not an economist. The economy will probably be able to tell us how sustainable the debt of Lagos is. Debt of Lagos is over $1 trillion. When you add the domestic debt plus the foreign debt. The challenge of the foreign debt of Lagos now is that Lagos is having a foreign debt of over $1 billion. And the challenge of that is that the rate is not stable. There are indications that Naira might have to be devalued to about someone who was suggesting, I think was it Financial Times, suggesting that we should devalue to 500 and the Naira have to devalue to 500 and something. 500 and something, you know? And that means states that have loan in dollars, we have to pay more unless they accept the gospel of export and begin to export to generate forex by themselves. If they don't, they will end up paying a lot more than they bargained for. Lagos, now, this is one of the reasons Lagos is said to be a viable state. Look at the operating expenditure of Lagos. Operating expenditure of Lagos is about 386 billion. And the IGR of Lagos as of 2022 was 418. So Lagos State can effectively finance its operating expenses without loan. In fact, when you add the total revenue of Lagos, that's the IGR plus FACT together, and you deduct the operating expense of Lagos from it, and the loan that Lagos pay every year, of course, Lagos will have excess. So to a large extent, Lagos, now, so the essence of this now will be, what can Lagos do differently? I feel Lagos can pay its loan back by exporting and generating forex rather than buying Naira, using Naira to buy dollar from CBN to be able to pay back its foreign loan. According to budget report of Nigerian state, despite being epicenter of COVID-19 pandemic and exposed to risk of fiscal shock, its revenue emerged in the fourth position in the 2021 fiscal performance ranking, demonstrating its resilience with a total revenue of 658 for fiscal year 2020. The state saw 5.8% growth in IGR in spite of COVID. The growth in IGR was driven largely by 31.43%. I mean, I'm not surprised because, I mean, a lot of manufacturing were still working and they were paying their taxes to Lagos State, even during COVID, and all the relief material that were purchased. The IGR was driven largely by 31.43% growth in MDA revenue from 39 to 51, followed by 30.31% or 8.92 growth in payee from 269 to 278. What Lagos earned in payee alone is much more than the whole budget of some states in Nigeria. Governor Sanwo-Olu is a semi-president. However, we know that this growth in income tax is slower than the 12.74 or 30.51 billion growth from 235.45 recorded in 2018 to 269 billion recorded in 2019. Overall, the state had an IGR per capita of 29. Many states in Nigeria are not even up to 10,000. But IGR per capita of Lagos is 29,000. More than 5 times. The country average is 4. Some states are below average. Average income per capita of states in Nigeria is 4,616. Lagos is far more than that. Some states are not even up to this. Lagos State saw 24.38 or 2.38 growth in road tax component. Wow, 2.38 billion road tax of its IGR. For those using car in Lagos, you are contributing to that. An analysis of the state's current expenditure of component of its reference indicate about 70% were obtained from internal generated revenue, while 30% received from statutory allocation. So Lagos have 70%, which is very unusual. Look at it. Lagos 69, about 70% of Lagos income is from IGR. So Lagos can conveniently sustain itself, pay all its salary and loan, and still have extra without necessarily depending on Abuja, which is what many states need to do. The central government has not lost sight of capital investment. Look at what Lagos also invests capital. I mean, when you see some of those structures being built in Lagos, you probably understand why. Capital expenditure of Lagos was 304 billion. You know, I was listening to a politician who used to be a commissioner in Lagos and was comparing himself as a commissioner in Lagos to be better off than governors of many states in Nigeria. He said, because when he looks at what he had to administer, the money he superintended over as a commissioner is more than what some state government. He was trying to prove that, look, the fact that he has not been a state governor or something is that what he has to manage, as a commissioner for works in Lagos, for example, what he has to manage is far, far more than the budget of some 2 states put together in Nigeria. Oh my God. Okay, so breakdown of capital spending indicate expenditure on economic affair increased by 43.27% from 108 to 155. While that of education increased by 144% from 7 to 17. Overall, the state had a capital expenditure per capita of 21, which is more than twice the average of the country. On the operating expense spectrum of the state expenditure, it cut down spending on general administrative by 38%, from 63 or 63 billion from 164 in 2019 to 100 in 2020, maybe because of COVID. Total debt burden of Lagos stood at 104 trillion. And this was based on 2019. So you can imagine what has happened now. Additional debt borrowed. But more importantly is the fact that the state will have to pay back at a higher exchange rate. At least the IN window now is nearing more than, I think it's more than 430 or close to 440 now. People are saying it has to be about 520. So for state, for country, I mean, for state government that borrowed and had to pay back, and they borrow external debt in dollars. I mean, you know, can you imagine the debt amount has increased in Naira terms just because of exchange rate? And if the economy is growing the way it should, and we are earning enough forex, debt amount could have reduced. Can you imagine in Naira terms? Let's go to the shop. When we come back, we'll look at the potential for export in Lagos.
Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of import done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
All right. Potential. Lagos State with a GDP of 91, dropping from 131 due to forex fluctuation, is currently fifth largest economy in Africa. Lagos State with an estimated population of 21 million, most populous city in Nigeria and 7th fastest growing in the world. So the GDP of Lagos is more than the GDP of many states. Oh, sorry, GDP of many countries. So even at this rate, it's still 5th largest economy in Africa. Lagos State is the nation's economic financial nerve center, currently owns 65% of the Nigerian businesses, with a presence of over 2,000 manufacturing companies, 200 financial institutions, and largest collection of small, medium enterprises. We're currently doing a survey. The report should be out in November, hopefully, or latest by December. We're currently doing a survey. We call it the Nigerian Export Trade Finance, annual Export Trade Finance survey. We hope to do it annually. And trying to sample we try to reach out to about 1,000 companies that are into export, and a number of them filled the questionnaire. I think over 200 filled the questionnaire. And do you know what I discovered? Even when I was doing research for my PhD, I noticed the same thing. Of course, majority of the business has concentrated in Lagos and particularly Southwest. That's in Nigeria generally. Ogun State is taking a lot, Oyo State to some extent, but majority in Lagos. Majority in Lagos. At least those are exporting. A number of other people, and then not, of course, Kano being another place. 65% of Nigerian businesses with presence of over 2,000 manufacturing companies and 200 financial institutions, and the largest collection of small SME in Africa. 2,000 manufacturing companies in Lagos and 200 financial institutions, not just commercial banks. Lagos is also the major information communication hub of West Africa and potentially the biggest ICT market in the continent. It's developing a 24-hour economy in line with the goal to become a world-class megacity. Two of the nation's largest seaport, of course, Tinkan, and the third one is taking off now. Another airport and the seaport at the Lake axis. Lagos is the center for Nigerian movie industry, in fact, at Nollywood. The Idumota market in Lagos Island is the primary distribution center. Many films are shot in the Festac area of Lagos. Lagos is also home of Nigeria's growing music industry. Major crop. Now, I will focus on crop, and I'll focus on coconut, yam, coconut, oil palm, vegetable, and then solid minerals, silica, bitumen, and clay. Let's look at the buyers of this product. Lagos gets a lot of fish. Lagos has a lot of fish. Fish has a big opportunity in Lagos. Lagos also can get rice with the lake rice arrangement. Then I will also look at the coconut market. Coconut market, frozen vegetable. So fish, $17.9 billion market for fish, and with a huge market in Europe. There's a challenge with our fish. We need certification to be able to export fish to Europe on a large scale. Currently, the way we process our fish, sometimes when you want to export, there's a lot of things you hear that just make you to know that, look, does it mean everything we are doing is wrong? One of the reasons why we have issue with export of fish is that the European regulation says you don't kill fish violently. In fact, generally, you don't kill animals violently. And I like the argument. And the argument is, look, when you kill them violently, a lot of hormones are released into their muzzle when they are trying to escape. And this hormone remain in that muzzle, and you're going to eat it, and you're going to behave like animal. Could that be the reason why we're having the issue we're having in our country? So they don't like the way we kill. It's like if you want to kill fish, for example, you can put them inside water and introduce electricity current inside that water slowly until they die slowly. So the idea is to kill them in a mild way, not in a violent way. And that happened to many other meat that we have. And that's one of the reasons they had issue with our meat. Apart from the fact that also when the level of contamination is high, they don't, particularly when it's not growing wild, it's domesticated, what are we feeding them? When you process, how do you process it? So many issues around fish and meat products. In Africa, the demand is about 1.13 billion. Libya, Egypt, South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Algeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Gabon, Somalia are major market for fish, processed fish. Rice, 24.7. Lagos is already doing something in this regard. So Lagos can actually export lake rice. And Lagos can expand that scope of that rice and export it. I mean, for one reason or the other, our governors are not thinking of export. I don't know why. I'm hoping that if we get this kind of material out, which is why we made the video available free online, and people can begin to think about this, so that others have become commissioner of agric, commissioner of industry, or commissioner of commerce and industry, commissioner of agric can collaborate and make this happen for the state. So the state is already doing well in rice. Rice market is about $24.7 billion. $24.7 billion. And in Africa alone, rice is the demand. Okay, so let's look at coconut. Coconut is another very interesting one for me. Very interesting one because Lagos can produce coconut. So I'm going to use coconut as the, and when I look at level of coconut being exported from Nigeria, it's growing really very fast. Really, really very fast. 1.12 billion. China leading the way in terms of buying. India, Singapore, Netherlands, Germany, Australia. So you have a lot of opportunity actually for purchase of this kind of product. In Africa, also for 2 million, the market in Africa is very low. Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, Algeria. Then frozen vegetable, that's another area that Lagos definitely had opportunity. Another area that Lagos definitely have opportunity. I mean, there's huge opportunity that Lagos have in vegetable. There are a lot of people producing vegetable in Lagos. So many people. A lot of vegetable that is eaten in Lagos are produced in Lagos. So vegetable is definitely an opportunity that is worth exploring by the Lagos state government. The demand, 6.98 billion. Can you imagine? 6.98 billion. And in Africa, 109 million. 6.98 billion, and in Africa, 109 million. Then dry vegetable. Now, the other one was frozen vegetable. Now we also have dry vegetable. Dry vegetable market is actually, dry vegetable market is actually 4.26. So there seems to be more demand for the one that is not dry. That's the fresh. But of course, there's also a huge demand for dry vegetable. In Africa, the demand in Africa also for this is very low, 39. And like I said, I mean, my postulation is that most likely is because we already produce it ourselves, so the demand is not so fantastic because it's already produced right here. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, I will talk about my proposal to Lagos State. And of course, we discuss also the profit, how Lagos can profit from export directly.
Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of import done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
All right. So what's my proposal to Lagos? For those that have been on this program, you know that my proposal is basically around how do we ensure that we create a system that help the SME to grow. I know Lagos State is supporting agric seriously. I mean, I've gone to do seminar for, I've been to Ministry of Agric, the office in Agege. They have a very massive land and offices where they support a lot of so sorry, I had a little issue with my network. Kindly confirm if you can hear me. Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me, please? Kindly confirm if you can hear me. Hello, can you hear me, please? You can drop a message in, okay, someone, okay, thank you. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, thank you. All right, so I was talking about Lagos State, about the fact that Lagos State is doing a lot in agri. I mean, sincerely, until I visited that place, I was actually would have thought rather that Lagos was not, you're wondering what's Lagos State doing about agri. I've since learned that in this life, it's only what you are looking for you will find. If you don't have anything to do with them and you're not looking for them, you probably we don't know exactly what they are doing. But I must tell you, Lagos State have a very strong support for agri. Very, very strong support for agri. I mean, training, equipment, input support. And not because there's so much in terms of farming in the state, but the little that the states are doing, a number of supports are available for them. So now let's look at this. My recommendation, and the reason why I've been talking a lot about this recommendation is because it doesn't appear to me like whenever we want to, government have a way it thinks and a way it's I don't know how to describe it. Government have a way it like to do its things. But sometimes it doesn't make sense to us in private sector. The way government go about some of the things. Will I say it's because the government is not consulting the people? I don't want to agree to that. And the reason why I'm not agreeing to that is because I realize that it appears the government wants to do what it wants to do, probably because of those that are there that probably have other motives. I mean, what are the major challenges today for SMEs? Processing, being able to process, power, certification. So why don't we have, so let's say for coconut, for example, why don't we have a processing center where if I have a product like fish, let me use fish. Fish is a good one in Lagos because a lot of people are into aquaculture in Ekpe, in Badagry, in Ikorodu, such that I can, if I can buy that fish and I can bring it to a factory where they will process that fish for me. They will process that fish for me. But what will happen at the end of the day when they process that fish for me is that I will be able to get finished smoked fish at the end that is already packaged. I just need to go. So it will stir up increase in aquaculture in the state, in which you have a lot of people rearing fish because now people can take the fish, I can buy from people producing and take it to where they can dry, they can add whatever I need to add to it, and then they can package and they have my packaging material. So they do, so when I come back, I know if I give them a ton of fish, I'm going to get so number of kilograms of fish at the end of the day. That kind of arrangement. Because when you look at this, an export value chain in which production and harvesting is done by SME, primary processing and storage by SME, secondary processing and packaging by SME, marketing and sale by SME, logistics expansion by SME, you have inefficient value chain operator, you have low processing capacity and low output, you have few job creation, low quality and packaging, a high cost of production, and non-competitive product in the export market. Now, on the other hand, when you decide to put in between here, large corporate, who is going to do the processing? So the aquaculture is done by some farmers, SME1, who are aquaculture and fish farm, and SME2 can go and buy from them and give this corporate to produce for them, and then they look for the market. So in that case, I don't have to worry about certification, quality issue, the drying, the NAFDAC, and the power, because a large corporate is producing for me and producing for many other people. If I drop my product with them within a week, I can come back and finish. And they know that there's a ratio for every 5 tons of fish, maybe I'll get 1 ton of dry fish, already packaged and ready for the export market in my brand. This will create efficient value chain operator, high processing capacity and high output, good quality and packaging, low cost of production and competitive products in the export market, increase job creation, decrease inequality, and of course, decrease insecurity. In order to support exporters in this state to enter the export market in Africa, Europe, and America, in a secure and sustainable way, the state like Lagos State can do the following: partner with representative at destination to market and secure contract for citizens of the state, set up warehouse for pickup by wholesaler and retailer at destination, set up an entity, agent or distributor at destination, partner with independent agent or distributor at destination, organize and sponsor manufacturer for exhibition in the export market. Now, how can the state profit directly? Let's use, this can be applied to any other product, but I will use coconut as an example. The state have a very small land mass, so if about 50% of the arable land, that's the land being, that there's still a lot of bushes in Lagos, there's still a lot of farmland in Lagos. If that is used to cultivate coconut, the yield per hectare of coconut is 1 metric ton. Possible yield of 178,000 hectare will be 178,000 metric tons. At a price of $2,000 per metric ton, we can get $373.9 million. The cost of farming about 60,000 plus cost of export. If you add everything together, it comes to about 12 billion. If you convert at 415, you have about $153 billion. But my take for Lagos on this is, I think Lagos, to a large extent, sincerely, can consider this kind of product for payment of its loan in dollars. So Lagos said we will not have to be using naira to buy at an expensive rate and then paying back dollar. At the end of the day, the state with the IGR can generate 558, and I'm using the IGR of 2020. You can imagine what is happening with the IGR that is happening right now in 2021 and 2022. The state can partner with private companies to set up an SPV, special purpose vehicle. The state provide fund, while the SPV provide expertise. The state can form farmers into cooperative across the state to produce this product, give them a guarantee to buy off them, train them, and give them input, provide collection center to collect it, clean, process, package, source for buyers and do the shipment, and of course, present documents and get paid. The state can then share by giving the other partner, that's the private sector, its own share, while the state have enough to be able to carry out development. The impact of suggested model for state government goes beyond generation of revenue via export. It has a humongous impact on employment generation and increased economic activity in the state. This, in my opinion, is a more effective and efficient enduring model for diversifying the economy of any state in Nigeria. This model can also be replicated by federal government at the federal level, especially for the exportation of solid minerals. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we round off.
Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of import done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
All right, next week we are going to be moving on to Nasarawa State. Nasarawa State, another very interesting state with a lot of minerals. I think they even call themselves the home of solid minerals, with a lot of minerals to consider. If you're going to get the book Built to Go Global, it basically highlights reasons why export businesses fail and how to make them successful. If you want to have access to this video, visit our YouTube channel and subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you can know when we post the video and you can watch it again. And if you want to get the link to this program every week, please remember to visit our platform on Telegram. That is African Export Business Platform on Telegram. and you'll be able to have access to the link to this program every Thursday. I can always join us.
Are you a retiree? Are you an employee looking forward to retirement? Are you an agro-processor, a farmer, and a manufacturer of different items in Nigeria? Do you desire to earn foreign exchange in euro, dollars, and pounds? Are you interested in expanding your market beyond the shore of Nigeria? Are you looking for how to start doing export business? Do you have an order and looking for how to go about exporting your product abroad? Then I have great news for you. 3T Impex Trade Academy, in conjunction with American Institute of Extended Studies, brings to you from export novice to export legend. This is an export mentoring program that helps you step by step until you achieve your goal of doing a successful and sustainable export business. New enrollment is currently ongoing. The program costs $1,250 and there are flexible payment plans to fit your budget. Enroll today.
Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn in dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global, a scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order a 50% discount, call 080-912-44449. Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank? Are you struggling to meet your income and deposit targets? Are you on the verge of losing your job for non-performance? You desire a change for the better in your career? Then register for the Certified Global Trade Management Professional from the American Institute of Extended Studies to acquire skills needed to serve import-export trade customers' problems and consequently attract the deposit and income of the transaction to your bank. Registration is currently ongoing. Call this number to register today. Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of import done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. See you next week and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.